Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story about an inmate named Derek who just couldn't stop crying in prison, and he ended up learning the hard way. Stay tuned to the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team.
What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, now, today's video and topic are going to be about crying. Yeah, I know y'all seen the thumbnail, and yeah, that's exactly what can happen to you if you get caught crying in prison. Now, nobody's saying that you gotta be Mr. Superman, Mr. Tough Guy Extreme. If you get poked up with a poker, you probably gonna shed a few tears. If you get punched in your face hard enough, your eyes might water. That's understandable. Nobody's saying that that can't and shouldn't happen. What people, well, inmates, convicts, what you cannot do in front of them are different from things that you cannot do in front of people on the streets in the real world. So I say that to say this. You might go through something on the streets and you might actually cry. And your homie, your best friend might be there, and he might even go as far as telling you, yo, it'll be alright, yo, you good, man. You gonna be alright, you get through it. I mean, you good. Well, in prison, there is no big brother. There's no uncle. There's no cousin fix-it-all. There ain't nobody that's going to be sympathetic and sitting there listening to you whimper and whine telling you it's going to be alright. Because the very truth is, who knows if it's going to be alright or not. You could be here today and getting sent off this compound in a box tomorrow. Oh, ask around. It happens very easy. People with short time going home next week get sent off the compound in a bag. Yeah. And you know where they headed? A lot of them ain't got no family, so they got a little spot out back of the prison, and it's not a burial site, it's a dump. Yes, y'all. Look it up if you don't believe me. Now, in prison, there's numerous things that you may want to cry over, like getting bullied or, maybe getting more time in prison. You go up for your date thinking that you might get a parole date, and they give you a hit and you got to do another 5 before you can see parole again. That's a reason to go back to your, cell and cry. Finding out that you got a disease in prison because you was on some other shit. That's a good reason to cry. But guess what? You cannot cry in prison. It's like the unwritten rule. Because the things that will happen to you afterwards, I'm not even going to mention the fact that people going to test your manhood when they see you crying. Y'all heard me right, but let's get into this story. Let's get all the way up into the story, y'all. Now, here we go again. Another YN. This YN's name was Derek. Derek, well, he came up in there on manslaughter charges. So he had about a 15 to do. Now, from the rip, you could tell Derek was out of place. Not because of his color or anything like that. He just looked like a scared little boy. Now, when he came up in the pod, he already had one black eye. Meaning, he was getting bullied in the county before he even got down prison, they was whooping Derek's ass. He didn't look like he could defend himself very well, obviously. Now, supposedly, he was, getting drunk and got out of control behind the wheel. Ran somebody over. Boom. Y'all know the rest. Now he's here, and he has no clue what to do. Derek's not a criminal. He made a mistake, but he's not necessarily a criminal. He's an idiot who made a mistake that somebody had to pay for with their life. Therefore, now Derek has to pay for it with his life, or at least a part of it, as long as he makes it out of prison. So, a lot of people put that on the borderline of bad charges, mind you. A lot of people will say that, well, Derek's not a good person, that was somebody's mama or somebody's wife or this and that, and now they gone because of him, and he get to live. Excuse me. We ought to do something to him. We got to teach him a lesson, da-da-da-da-da. And that was partially why Derek kept getting his ass whooped everywhere he went, from the jail to the prison. People wasn't feeling his charges. And the fact that he wasn't willing to stand up for himself. So, excuse me, y'all. When Derek started, trying to fight back and defend himself, they had just hit him even harder, y'all. Because they knew he ain't have it in him. At that point, it was just all adrenaline and fear. Derek wasn't fighting. He was reacting. He was defending. And he wasn't doing a good job at that. Because it looked like Derek took so many hits one time, his whole face was swole up. Black and blues, just looking crazy like one of them monsters. Now, y'all, this is the part that, well, alright. So I'm going to tell y'all a quick story about myself. And I'm sure other people have done this. If you are going to cry in prison, y'all, the only time that is acceptable to cry in prison is in the shower, when can't nobody tell if you're crying or not. Control your emotions and let the tears go in the shower. That is the only time that I saw fit to let any tears go. Now, again, finding out that you're going to have to do more time. Oh, I shed a tear for that. When I ended up getting the extra 2 years and having to sit in AdSeg for extended periods of time and all that dead time that extended my bid. Yeah, I shed a tear for that, but ain't nobody know it because I made sure I was in the shower, and you ain't seeing nobody's tears in the shower. Control your emotion. Put your poker face on and do what you gotta do. Now, there was one time I had the thoughts. I was writing a letter to my lawyer when I first got in there. And this was after seeing things go down already in my first month. And I'm writing a letter to my lawyer like, yo, I can't do this. Get me the F up out of here. You got to do something. You're going to have to get an appeal or something. Figure it out, man. You're going to have to get me up out of here, man. I can't do this. And that was me subconsciously thinking in my head as I'm writing. I never voiced none of these opinions. I never spoke it out loud. I only thought it in my head. And by the time I got done writing that letter, I crumbled it up. Threw it in the garbage. And I said, what are you doing? We already went through this. You're here. It is what it is. And you got this time to do. So stop looking at the negative parts of it and look at the positive parts. How can you change this all around? How can you make it so you're not stuck in there with them? They stuck in there with you. And that's what took me through my whole bed, y'all. Believing that Oh, I'm not stuck in here with y'all. Y'all stuck with me. At any given time, it could go down. You can't be scared of the inevitable. Well, Derek was caught in the cell, whimpering and crying, bawling, tears. And this guy was just in there, shirt soaking wet. Oh, they won't leave me alone. Oh, I'm tired of this. I can't do this. I just got hit. They not giving me my parole date. I gotta do more time. Oh my God, I'm gonna unalive myself. He in there just putting on the show, y'all. Putting on a show for whoever wanna watch. And that's mainly what people do. Watch, observe, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing to Derek right then and there. They gonna let him go ahead and deal with whatever he dealing with. Yeah. They gonna catch Derek slipping though. Because there's no way in hell all them people just saw you and heard you crying out loud like that they gonna let that slide. People are already organizing plans and plots when they gonna run down on Derek. Because now they know Derek softer than a cupcake. Now Derek has no idea the trouble he's in at this point. He thinks he might actually believe that people in the pod actually care about his well-being. This is prison, bruh. Don't nobody up in here care about your well-being. And that should have been the first thing that you learned way back in the county. Take care of number one, you. So, everything will go on like normal. Is mess hall. Everybody go out to the mess hall for lunch. It's a good lunch today. Hamburgers and fries. Yeah, everybody going out there to get that. Now, this is where things start getting a little, I guess you could say, diabolical for Derek. Soon as Derek sit down with his lunch, now he sits at a table of other neutrons that don't get that much respect in the prison, and they are just lucky that, most of the goons leave them alone because they already done got them already pretty much, I guess. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what member, what gang member walked up to Derek, but a gang member walked up to Derek. Now, this is total disrespect, y'all. If you touch anything on somebody's plate, you get unalive for that. You get beat down for that. You get hurt bad. He grabbed Derek's whole cheeseburger before he could even take one bite of that joint. He took the whole burger. And then he took a handful of fries with the other hand. It was a couple of wedges left on the plate. He had big ass hands. He just looked at him and said, "Do something." Turned his back on Derek and walked off right back to his table. Dropped all the fries on his plate and started killing that hamburger. Now Derek, hungry as hell, he just sitting there shook, eating them few little french fries left on his plate. And everybody just looking at him. The whole mess hall looking at him like, dang, he ain't gonna do nothing. He just let dude disrespect him like that. That's crazy work. I would have did this. I would have did that. Everybody would have did something if it was them, y'all. You know how it go. This is prison. So, now, by the time we get back to the pod, we're going to fast forward. By the time we get back to the pod, y'all, another group of individuals that been scoping him out, that stay right in the same pod with us, they on him. Soon as Derek head back to his cell, and they see his bunkie fall back, which the bunkie was also in on this play, because they plan on hitting him off, of course. And these individuals entered that cell, y'all. And when I say they meant him no well, they had blades, locks and socks, and let alone the fact that they was 2 times as big as old boy. They balled Derek up on the floor, commenced to stomping and whooping his ass good. I mean, they popped him with that lock and the sock right across the side of his face, opened his joint right up. Wow! What y'all doing, man? What? I ain't do nothing. Shut up. You gonna cry? You gonna cry? Cry baby? That's what we gonna call him. Cry baby. Hey, cry baby. You gonna buy us commissary every week until we say you can stop. You got that? You got that? Cry baby? Oh, stop it. They whooped him out real good, y'all. And they left that threat hanging in the air. If you don't buy us commissary every week, we're going to whoop you out bad. And even if you try and transfer out of here and go to another pod in prison, we're going to make sure they whoop you out bad. You will pay. What I do? We just don't like your charges. And I know y'all like, dang, but he unalived somebody. Well, it ain't about what you do, it's about how you do it. And I'm telling y'all, prison is not a real place, y'all. The things that go on in prison that are real and that mean the most don't mean nothing out here in the streets. So when I tell y'all these stories, don't take it lightly. Don't just sit there and think, nah, he just doing that for the clicks. He just doing it for the views. No, people. I'm doing it for you and these YNs out here so y'all can understand the things I've seen. I want y'all to know the places I've been, the terror domes I've inhabited, the mayhem I've seen go down, people. And I know y'all don't believe me. Y'all don't believe your boy Corner. But I'm here to tell y'all I ain't got no reason not to tell y'all the truth. So y'all better get in that comment box, like the video, hype the video. Y'all know the vibes, man. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner. This is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. And with that, people, I'm out.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boy stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at.